What's up guys, Javier from That Racing Channel. Welcome back to another episode of the all-wheel drive RSX build series. We are so pumped to be back here at Rail Street. As I'm sure you've already seen in the title of the video, I couldn't be more excited to be taking this build to the next level with the Quaife Sequential transmission. We've been working on this thing behind the scenes for the past couple months, but today it is all complete and we're ready to get into some action. All right guys, so I'm gonna walk you through some of the changes we made on the car. So obviously the big one being the Quaife Sequential transmission. So we'll walk you through the operation, we'll get it on the dyno, do some tuning, make some rips today. And we got this sweet Haltech display installed. It has a bunch of different options. So for the most part, everything looks about the same here, but you'll see we got the extra injectors in here instead of just the 4 dummy and 4 actual injectors. So we got the 8 injector setup going. You can see here we have the drive-by-wire throttle body. This is from like a newer Acura drive-by-wire electronic throttle body. Gato Manifold is actually nice enough to machine us an adapter for the throttle body that fits really nicely here. We actually didn't even have to redo the intercooler piping or anything, so it all fit really, really well. So down here you can see we have the sequential transmission, and it all fits really, really nicely, like factory. All right guys, so we're here with Rob on the dyno. First we're gonna get the new trim pot switch dialed in. So basically we're gonna be able to change boost on the fly like we had back in the day with the TRC Supra. So we have basically a knob that goes from 1 to 12 and it'll give us options to, like I said, change boost on the fly. So we're gonna get that dialed in and see what it makes at each level. What's up, Rob?
How's it going?
How's it going, man?
Good, good.
What are we dialing in here for the different boost settings?
So I'm just getting the boost controller settings dialed in. It makes about 15 psi on wastegate, so I'm trying to get it all the way down for your first setting. So it'll be turned all the way down when you're in position 1, or if your flex content is less than 50%. And then now get that dialed in, and then probably like 18 psi and 20 psi, you know, should make close to 600 by then. So you'll have a big range to play with.
Awesome. Well, let's see what she makes. How much boost was that?
16.6 pounds peak.
So that'll be setting 1?
Yeah, I'm gonna try to get it to come down a little bit.
So what we tried for on the lowest setting still made some jam. 509, 352 torque. Power band looks good. She's running healthy. Was a wastegate?
Yeah, so that was full wastegate. It made like 13 in the middle and peaked at like 15 pounds. It made almost 500 horsepower.
Yes, we got 497, 334 on wastegate. I'll take that. Not a bad setting for wastegate. Yeah, 500 horsepower. All right, so that one was 18 pounds, setting 2, 546, and 361 torque. Power band looks real nice, really healthy. All right, guys, so I made 569 on that one. That is freaking sick. This thing's gonna be an animal.
Just leave it right here at 569. I think it's the magic number.
569 magic number?
Oh yeah, for sure. We should leave it right there.
Dude, for a stock motor, that's getting it.
Oh,
Yeah. We could probably go a little higher on the street, but honestly, we're super, super happy with that. I mean, this is still a factory long block, so 569 is way more than enough on this factory long block, way more than enough to have some fun with that sequential. So now we're gonna get a couple other things dialed in here. So how do you tuning wise, how do you feel about that?
It's good. I mean, the fueling is spot on. Yeah, so basically we got the blue line is like boost controller turned off, just natural wastegate. It made, you know, about 14-ish pounds and then creeped to in the 15s. The red line, we were targeting 18. It made like a little bit extra, which I fixed after the pull. And then the green line was the third click on the rotary switch, and that made 20 pounds of boost right on the dot. It could probably make close to 600 with, you know, more timing and stuff like that, but you know, should be plenty.
What's the saying? You know, asking the tuner just one more PSI.
Yeah.
no, it's
one more degree, one more PSI.
It's more than enough for that little stock motor.
But yeah, it's like I said, it's pretty rich, conservative. It's making, you know, great power, really responsive. You know,
she's treating you well so far.
Yeah. So yeah, power is looking good on the dyno. This car has a Quaife Sequential trans and a strain gauge shift knob, so we can dial in, you know, full throttle shifting. It can do auto blip downshifting because the car has a drive-by-wire throttle body, so that's, you know, really cool. Not a lot of cars have that. So yeah, I'm gonna go through those settings and see how she does. The way the shift knob works on this car is it has a load cell built into it, so you can sense when you're pushing and pulling on it. And then in the tune, you make a threshold of, you know, what is considered a shift once it reaches the minimum threshold for that. So you have a minimum throttle position, you have minimum RPM, stuff like that, to where you have to meet those requirements. And then as soon as it senses that you're pulling on it, it's going to cut ignition timing and it's going to cut the spark and retard the timing to let the car shift full throttle with no clutch. And once tuning and everything is dialed in, it should be really smooth and make the car, you know, quite a bit quicker. So we're running this Haltech dash. It is reading, but we haven't set up everything. I noticed the battery voltage is a little off, and then it's saying over rev and over boost. You know, those are software limits built into the Haltech dash that we just need to dial in. I saw the over boost kicked in at 20 pounds, and then it looks like the over rev set to 8,500, and we've been taking the car to 8,800. But you know, you might see that in the polls, but that's just the Haltech software that we need to button up after the dyno.
get me in the face right now. Oh, that sweet, sweet 1 ethanol.
The gears feel so long when it's in all-wheel drive mode.
My man, that is sick.
Felt super smooth.
Dude, it feels so smooth.
Yeah. It smells like an auto, dude.
Yeah. Wow, man.
Yeah, it is.
Guys, that is so badass. I cannot wait to go make some rips in this thing. This thing just shot like a 3 or 4 foot fireball at that.
Just giving a little boost control on the shifts. A little quick spool.
Couple of pops and bangs for the gram. Bro, how sick was that?
Dude, that shit was insane.
How did that look out here?
Bro, that shit must almost touch the fucking roof. That shit almost touched the roof. Bro, it made my gimbal like shake.
I need to watch that back.
Dude.
Did all the shift cut stuff. On the dyno it feels super smooth. We'll verify on the street, but got all the parameters and everything dialed in as best we could on the dyno. Just tested the anti-lag. It made exactly what I wanted, you know, what I asked for. It's at 7,000 RPM. See if we can get this thing to launch.
So we're going for the first ride with the Sequential. So what do we gotta test first? Do we gotta test anything?
Well,
or
it's a new Sequential, everything. So just see how it drives and then do some reps.
okay, so normal driving.
Yep.
All right. fall out of boost. It's just hits perfectly, man. All right, guys. So first full rip on all the boost there. That felt really, really good.
Windshield was fogging up and everything.
My man, this thing's running nice. I mean, the way it drives,
the shifts are like seamless.
the way it drives, just normal driving. I mean, it cruises perfect. Like the drivability is on point, and the way the shifts, they're so crisp. Like you said, it almost feels like a a DCT or something.
Yeah, the trans is a little clunky, like daily driving mode, but full throttle, it's like butter smooth.
Magic. Do a little first gear rip.
Let's do it.
I just can't get the smile off my face. Permanent grin, dude.
It spools so fast.
It does. It comes on instant.
Bro.
That's fun, man.
Yeah, bro.
Just like little spirited driving. So smooth.
Yeah. It's not like other sequentials like that I've been in where you pull that thing in. It's not violent.
It's not violent.
Yeah.
I mean, I would imagine that has to be a good part bit to like the tuning, you know?
Yeah, of course.
Good part due to the tuning. Try a little second gear. This 1000% transformed this car. Like it transformed the car as much as going from front wheel drive to all wheel drive.
Oh,
like
sure.
That's significant of a difference.
It's a night and day difference.
And granted, the gear ratio selection that we chose for drag racing specifically, but we can also roll race with it.
Yeah.
You know, leading from first, leading from second. It's spicy. You can feel it. Like it doesn't lag. It just comes on.
Yeah, man.
And dude, this 64, 66 is literally lighting up. Instant. I tried brake boosting it, and we hit a boost cut because just brake boosting it went to like 25 pounds. The car's on some performance tires, but it's not on like slicks or like drag radials. Right. You know what I mean? Yeah. The car feels like it can handle, like it can do like an autocross, and now with this transmission, I feel like it has a good balance. It's not just like a straight line performance car.
Yeah,
like this thing corners. I mean, it's fun. It feels like a little go-kart, you know?
Hell yeah, man.
I'm sure a lot of you guys are wondering why we changed the transmissions so soon. So when we originally started the build series, our trans options were pretty limited just due to back orders and things of that nature. And we didn't want to slow the project down at the time, so we just went with what was readily available and what we could get right away so we can get this thing on the road. And when the opportunity came around to get our hands on that Quaife Sequential box, I had to jump on it. I knew it would take the project to the next level, and it would definitely fit our long-term goals for the project. So before we pulled the H pattern out, we actually did get the car to the track, do some preliminary testing, collect some data. After we went testing, the car was set to sit for like a couple months because we had TX2K, Snow Outlaws, some Street Outlaw stuff. We were filming some really sick content for you guys. And since the car was already going to be sitting for a bit and that opportunity for the Quaife Sequential came up, we just couldn't pass it up. All right, so there she is, man.
Yeah.
Looks sick.
Yeah, it looks like it belongs in there, doesn't it? So yeah, it fit really well in here. We did have to make more support like we did with your K20 shifter. We just used flat stock and riv nuts just to bolt it in to keep it secure. We did have to reroute the cable for the shifter and the reverse lockout. When you go with a sequential shifter, the cable is much thicker than the factory K-tune or whatever cable that you're using. It used to go through the floor of the car, now it's going through the firewall. You can't really bend it much, so it has to be a straight shot to the transmission because you don't want the cable to kink or anything. So we ended up going near your throttle pedal. We ran the cable over there. You can see it, it's a blue cable here, and then you have a smaller one, which is your reverse lockout. So it just made a nice clean straight shot to the transmission. That way you don't have any misshifts or any problems with going in reverse or anything like that. So that turned out nice.
So this is, I think you said it was a SI Type R pedal, like a newer Type R?
Yeah, it's like a newer Civic SI Type R pedal, drive-by-wire. So
nice.
We made a bracket to fit that on the firewall, so it sat in a good location. Since we have this digital dash, let's talk about all the sensors. There's the fuel pressure sensor. You used to have a mechanical gauge on your fuel pressure regulator. Now it's a nice sensor. You have your oil pressure sensor in the back. It used to be an oil switch going to your factory mechanical gauges. We also have a map sensor. So the map sensor, it used to be integrated with your throttle body. It used to bolt in like a factory Honda map sensor. Now it's an actual AEM sensor. So we got that wired up along with your injectors. You used to have 4, now you have 8. So we integrated all of those sensors and the injectors into one wire harness, made it really clean. The throttle body is also included in there. We obviously had to wire that for the drive-by-wire.
And then how was it just installing the trans? Was it pretty straightforward?
Oh yeah, it was straightforward. These Quaife Sequential transmissions use a stock bell housing, so it was basically just an unbolt, bolt-in situation. The clutch was easy, didn't interfere with that. It also has the gear selector position sensor on the side of the trans, which is really helpful. The only difference really is just the shift cables. To be honest, it bolts right on your
Through the firewall now?
Yeah, it just bolts on your factory transmission mount, and it's pretty simple.
Awesome.
Yeah.
All right, so we got some billet goodies down here now?
Yes, very nice billet transfer case. So it bolted right in, no problem. The yoke was the same, so the drive shaft bolted right up, no problem.
Yeah, huge shout out to Andrew at Momentum Motorsports. He got us set up with all the goodies, the Quaife Sequential box and everything we needed. He got it to us super quick, and he's so knowledgeable on getting us set up on the right gear ratios and pretty much everything we were going to need for our specific power setup for the future. So huge shout out to Andrew.
So I just wanted to talk about the shifter cable location. It used to be in here. Now it's going through the firewall, so we blocked this off. And then we wanted to talk about the shifter. We just use the flat stock with the rib nuts to support that, just like your last shifter, and it just gives it a lot more structure.
Awesome.
So per the manufacturer's instructions, you're supposed to go drive the car for a short period of time and then drain the oil out of it and check for any heavy particulate or break-in materials that have now, contaminated the oil essentially, and you're going to drain that out and you're going to put fresh oil in the box. So when that's done, we'll drain it out of that container slowly and see if there's any particulate worth talking about. But the main thing you want to do with any new engine, trans, diff, is if the oil is getting dark quickly, that's generally not a good sign. So oil that looks a lot like it went in, after break-in coming out, is generally a good sign because you're not cooking anything in there. Well, all you can do is look at the amount of particulate and then drive it for 100 miles and check it again. But this is like the trans as a system. Imagine the additional expense if they REM polished all the components, where everything had a finished surface to it. There's stuff floating in there, small stuff on the surface, but there's no chunkies. I'd probably drive it for 200 miles and do it again. See all that fine particulate sparkling in there?
You can really see it now.
Yep, it's actually stardust.
It's magic.
Yeah, that's actually how the magic
Sequential
is.
magic.
Yep. We're gonna let it settle to the bottom of this oil pan, and then we'll sell it back to Elon Musk.
All right, so we're filling her back up with some Motul 7590. Get her ready to go make some more rips. So what's up, guys? Got my boy Kev from Four Bangers.
What's up?
How you doing, brother?
Good, man.
It's good to see you.
Likewise. Never been in a car with you, though.
This is the first time, isn't it? And this is the perfect one to do it too.
Oh yeah.
Everybody knows you in the Honda community.
Whole new setup. It's gonna be nice.
You've been messing around with Hondas for years.
Yeah.
So let's go have a little fun, see what this thing's about.
Oh yeah. You got it turned up, right?
I have it. I just turned it up. Yeah. We got a. Rob gave us an extra click too, in case we wanted to get.
No, I saw you click it before the camera turned
Get a little extra spicy here. Anything over like 40-50% throttle, it was up immediately just spinning the tire.
Yeah, on the limiter.
On the limiter.
Second gear pointless.
Crazy. Thanks for coming for the ride, brother.
Bro, it's a pleasure.
What'd you think?
Dude, I love it. It's a game changer.
Yeah, dude, it really is.
This is where cars are going nowadays. Yeah, back in the day, I mean, one sequential seems almost like impossible. Like, oh, I can't really go all out. But yeah, seeing it like this in a vehicle is nice.
Oh, for sure. And other sequentials on the market are significantly more expensive than the Quaife stuff. So I feel like we're gonna start seeing a lot more of them.
Yeah, right out of the box.
Yeah, just bolt it up.
That's it. Dude, thank you for the ride, man.
Yeah, absolutely,
it was awesome.
man. It was a blast, dude.
Oh yeah.
Hell yeah.